This is my 1 year review after using the Guten 70 for 1 year. Yeah, that made it into a good start. This is my 1 year review after using the... This is my 1 year review of the Guten 70. Let's kick it. I'm Dr. Hans, this is Dr. Hans Brewery, my channel about beer and home brewing. Before we get started, let's get all of the important stuff out of the way. This was kindly sent to me for free from Keg King. They have not asked me to do a review video of it, and no money has changed hands, and they may not watch this video before it goes public on YouTube. With that said, let's just get started. If you have watched my video for the last year, you have seen me use it, so they have got some airtime for this, of course. Before that, I had a smaller system. I had a Brewcrafter 25, so if you watch older videos than that, you will see the smaller system. And I wanted to upgrade that system. I really liked to brew on it, but it was falling apart piece by piece, so I wanted a new system, and I wanted a bigger system to be able to do like more split batches, and you have seen a lot of split batches this year because I got the bigger system. So that has been freaking awesome. So and if you're just here to but if you're just here to find out if I do like it, as I said, I have been brewing with this for years. Of course, I like it, but there's no such thing as a perfect product. We're gonna go through like brewing the cons, but some of the cons here are like compensations. You have to balance stuff out, so we have to bear that in mind. And maybe we should like compare this to like what is all of them they call the Brewzilla, Danstar, Clarkstein, Ace, Rooster Beacon, Robo Brew, or is that the Brews? There are a lot of versions of this system, and they all have their little quirks, but yeah, quirks. But I've not used all of them, so I can't really compare it with that, but I can compare it with my old system, which is based on the same principle. I can also compare it with the Grandfather G70. I haven't brewed on it myself, but I have been along for some brew days and I talked to people using it. I can compare it also somewhat to the brew tools that I've used a little also. But we have to also be fair here, like a Grandfather G70 must cost about like, don't quote me on this, but like 2.5 times as a brewing system like this is. Or if you're having like a brew tools, what's called B80 Pro or something like that, there would be like 3.5, maybe 4.5 times of this. Yes, don't start writing just yet. Say 3.5, but at least what I say, people are buying extra gear for their brew tool system more or less straight away. I have not upgraded this at all. My smaller system, I need to upgrade the pump because it sucked. The pump on this has been really, really good. What do I like about it? And I would try to stay this positive. And I know I did make some complaints about this, and that was too early when the unboxing. I'm gonna address that also. My channel sucks. Don't think of like subscribing here, because I can't just keep it positive. How hard I try. I must like give both the good and the bad. There's a lot of better channels to go and subscribe. And if you are subscribed already, maybe consider unsubscribing. Untick that bell so you don't get notifications. And if this is a really bad video, leave a really nasty comment. Yeah, what do I like about it? Well, it's a big system. I get like 60 liters out of this, so that has been nice. I've never had any problem with the pump, as I said. It's been working flawlessly. I really like the side glass. It was something I like missed on my older system. These like clamps has been like handy when I have done no chill. I think there is like a Distil head you could buy. That's not legal here in Sweden. So is that good content? Me like making a lot of noise. 65 liters up here. You could fit maybe up to like 67 liters before things are starting to pour out from the sight glass. If I sparge up to 65 liters, yes, I do sparge up to my full volume, and no, there's not a problem with that myth of over-sparging. Yeah, I have a video on that also down below as usual. I have been brewing 65 pre-boil and ended up like 62 liters. This has a 3000 watt power system, and we can step up the wattage from 100 in 100 increments. So that has been nice. I think I've used like 1500 for mashing, 2000 watts for raising the mash temp, and the full 3000 to heat up the water and when I want to get up to boil. I've never had any issues with burn-ins on the element down at the bottom. This has a built-in element, so comparing like cleaning this with the brew tools, this is much easier, and that's really important to me. It's a feature I really enjoyed with this one. It takes a really long time to heat up water in this. It can take like 1.5 hours. Take that with a pinch of salt. It also of course depends on everything, but somewhere around there to get ready for mashing. That's one of those things that is a compromise, of course, because who is this for? This is for home brewers. This is not for a professional brewer. You have to be able to use this in a normal outlet. We have in Sweden 240 volts. And I've been using this in 16 amp fuse. And of course I have some other gear running. If I'm running too much on brew day, I can blow a fuse. Having a big massive system at home is maybe not like possible for all of us. We're looking at the brew tool system with like double elements. That's freaking awesome, but I'm not sure I will be able to run it. I know you can like tweak the wattage there, the power consumption of those also. So if you are experienced with that, please comment down below how that works at home for you. Yes, I have not tried that at home, and also with the grain father, I've not tried at home also. I know there's some of this, I think this is Brewzilla, which have 3500 watts. Of course, this is gonna be like slower than my older system that had 2500 watts, but that was 25 liters. That's here. And we were filling up this. So this is over, what is it, 2.5 times? Something like that, with only 500 watts more. It's not a strange thing that this is a little bit slower. More or less the only issue I had, and I wouldn't call that an issue, but you should know about that. And I don't think the Grainfather G70 is as slow as this one, but that's much more expensive. And that's 3200 watts. But according to them, they have some sort of different solutions with transporting the heat from the element to the wort. I don't have had any issues with the stuck mash, not once in a year, so that has been freaking awesome. Is that to do with the system, or is it just me being such a wonderful brewer? Probably it's me being such a wonderful brewer. No, but yeah, I do know how to brew a beer. I have brewed quite a lot of beer now. So when I do like stickier mashes, I always use some rice hulls. One thing I really like about this, hold on, is let me take some of this out. One thing I really enjoyed with this one is the grain basket. This has been awesome. With 3 steps here means that you can use the buoyancy of the grain pipe filled with grains when it's time to sparge. I have not had any issues pulling this out myself. When we brewed on the other systems, bigger systems, the Grainfather G70 and the brew tools, we have always been 2 because they have been really heavy. But this you can do yourself. Unless you have like the strength of a small child, I said it before, then you could ask your mom to help you. It is of course heavy, but it can be done, and you have seen me doing this all entire year. Another interesting factor, which has nothing to do with this, is that the deers weren't ready for this. The deers weren't ready. They usually like finish off a batch of wasted grains in a day, but now with so much grains, they have been like camping out, hanging out for a couple of days. I have not had any issue with the pipe, which was one of those things that I mentioned. And this bottom here have never like come out. It's stick there. It's really, really good fit, and no grain slips through it. And it's easy to clean. I did bitch about the overflow pipe. It has not been an issue at all. And one cool feature, because yeah, there were a little plug you should put here. Like a little butt plug. No, sorry. But I have not used that either. This sticks up so much when it's fully erected. Sorry. So you don't need the plug. You won't get anything in there when you add the malt. So that has been really nice. And the fact, of course, if you would lift it like this, I wouldn't. Then it would be too heavy to lift. You really need to like get up here. I use like a DIY brewing stand, and I have a really old video. I can link to that one below also, but you can just go and watch any of my grain to glass videos and you will see. I have an upcoming video or released video or split batch NAPA where I did not use that system, but otherwise mostly you will see that system. So this you can take up little by little, you can sparge, and I have really also I've been using this top plate, and I liked it when I sparged and stuff. And for this entire year I have been manually sparging, and I kind of like it. Also, sorry for the squeaking. Speaking of doing things manually, and there were a logo here, and I did not scrape this off. I had some major boilovers, and when cleaning this, the logo disappeared. It's not about branding or being tactic or something. I'm not that sneaky. This is programmable, but at least to my knowledge, there is no way to set a timer on it. You could, of course, like MacGyver a timer. You have several steps. You can do like mash steps, and with that, you could, of course, like MacGyver a timer, because you can set every step up to 180 minutes. With that, you could make a timer for the next morning to have this up to temp. It's not rocket science. My old system were all manual, and I kind of like the manual thingy because it doesn't have an app. If it had an app, maybe I would use it more. I've tried it on some brew days because I wanted to learn about it, but I went back to doing it manually. Programmable feature, it works. It is there if you want it. I like the fact that we have a tap here, so I've used this, gone out from the tap mostly when I have done no chill. Otherwise I have gone out through the pump here using the hose that it came with. I really love the Camlock. This is my first Camlock I ever had, and really enjoy that. Small like features I really enjoyed. The Camlock, the tap here, and this came with a bazooka screen, which I also bitched about, which I shouldn't. And I got a comment, I will see if I can find that, got a comment that I shouldn't complain about stuff before I try them, because it could be different on a different system. And you were totally right. Awesome comment. Keep them coming when I do stupid shit. Because I based that on my old system where I had a bazooka on it. But that system, you draw the wort from the tap when you were circulating. But on this system, we are drawing the wort through the pump up here, so from a hole in the bottom. So that's not the same thing. So the bazooka on this won't get clogged up the same way. But I'm not afraid of a little bit of wort in my fermenter. And as I said, I mostly have gone through the pump anyways. But with that said, I was wrong, and thank you for pointing that out to me. Much appreciated. Would I recommend this? Yes, of course. I have been using this for a year. I wish it were faster, but it's not. But I have been using this at winter time, and it has been working good. And I live in Sweden, and I brew outside. I don't know right now, the coldest day I have been brewing. It gets, of course, slower, but it has worked for me. Keg King, if you see this, I need a jacket for this. Winter is coming, can you please send me a jacket? For my other system, I like MacGyver jacket, but look at all of these things on this. Reviewing one of this system is more or less good for all of the systems, but they do have some minor differences. Some maybe don't have the tap, some maybe don't have the sight glass. And I don't know if there's different pumps in this, and some have arms instead of hose. I like the hose. I've actually been able to put the hose on there and use the grain pipe holder to do whirlpooling. The pump here has no problem. I have whirlpooled a lot of hops around in this. Sometimes I have used a hop spider. This came with a hop spider. This is what it came with. I've not used it. I have already one of these. I've been using that one, which I already had before, or this one You see, really, I have really a lot of iron in my water, so that's why my equipment looks like this after a while. Maybe we need to passivate this. This came with a really nice long cooling coil, and this has been working very good. Of course, I do think I would prefer using a counterflow chiller. I don't have one, but it goes way faster. But this has been working good. Of course, it depends on how cold your water is. This kind of systems, one I mentioned at this price level, and if you want a smaller system, you get all you need in it. If you're interested in buying one of these systems, I think it's a really good way to get into full batch all grain brewing, or like this is triple batch. You can get 3 kegs out of one brew day. That's freaking awesome. This takes up to 18 kilos of grains. I've not tried to max it. Do you want me to try to max it out and see how it works? Leave a comment down below, or if you want to see me do anything else in this. You could ferment in one of this system also. I have not done this in this one, but I have done it in my other one. And no, I actually don't have a widget on it. Too bad. So if you want to see me ferment a beer in this, so we could do like all-in-one system. I'm usually call this all-in-one system, but if we also ferment in it, it should be a all-in-one system. Yes, that is the correct technical term. What brewing system are you using, or are you thinking of buying one, or are you thinking of upgrading? Let us know down in the let us know down in the comments. It will be really interesting to hear your thoughts. If I missed anything here today, ask me and I will try to answer it. Thank you so much for watching. Dr. Hans out.